All right, guys, we are way away from the small little local lakes close to the house. We're actually, as you can tell by that right there, we're not even in America anymore. We're in Japan, touring the Sunline factory. I've already got to walk through a little bit, and there's some things that as much as I fish, I did not understand about fishing line. So I'm gonna kind of show y'all some of the high points and the things that kind of registered to me and resonated that I didn't know that's how it went, and it did. So kind of just give y'all a walkthrough of some of the highlights, some of the coolest points of how line's made, but it's really, really cool. All right, so we're actually in the product development office right here, and there's actually 11 people full-time in here testing fluorocarbon, trying to make the best line possible. So there's a couple machines that I think is really, really cool. We're gonna do a test right now. I'm gonna walk y'all through it whenever it starts, but it's a pretty cool machine that we're gonna fire up, and we're gonna test a couple lines. All right, so as you can see, abrasion resistance tester right here. There's these wheels down here that the line actually grinds on. So we got it set up. I'm gonna go ahead and start it. Back here we have monofilament or nylon, and up here we have Sunline FC Sniper. So they're the same diameter, and we're gonna let them roll back and forth. So we got a counter up there. This right here powers it, pulls it up and down, and there's weights over here to keep everything tight while it's going. So we'll let it roll. So there's the two lines, 12-pound Sniper, and then this is a Sunline mono, but it's a Japanese style. So there went the mono that was on the back there. You see it's done rolling. There goes the fluoro. So there's the score, 31 on the Sniper to 20 on the mono. So there we go. All right, so obviously I made a YouTube video not long ago. A couple people commented on there that in a different test, the mono was actually beating fluorocarbon. So I've been waiting to run this test because I knew I was coming over here, but that's a sigh of relief. The fluorocarbon definitely outperformed, and that's FC Sniper. The line that I use the most is actually FC Shooter, which has even more abrasion resistance, so it would do even better. But fluorocarbon is definitely the deal. That's why we use it, man. All right, so we are right now in the actual factory. This is actually where the product is molded, shot out, and then made into actual fishing line. But it starts out in these little pellets and little beads of actually fluorocarbon resin. So it's unbelievable that this is actually melted down and then formed and then made to the right diameter consistently over thousands and thousands of yards. It's unbelievable they can turn this into 10-pound tests if they want to and do thousands of yards of it, or 25 or 30 or 14, whatever. So it's kind of mind-blowing to know that this is melted down and then made into the fishing line that we all use every day. All right, look at this. 1,000 pound test. 1,000. I don't even know why you would need that, but they fish for tuna with this thing. That's unbelievable. Unbelievable. I thought 25 pound was hard to fish with. So there's a 1,000 pound test, and there's a pin. Look at that. It's actually a little absurd. All right, so we are in the packing room right now where everything actually gets packed up to ship, and I'm gonna show y'all this is what I would think about whenever I would think about a Japanese factory and the line being packaged and ready to ship, but seeing it in person is even cooler and kind of unbelievable. But check this out. This is how they do the bulk. So you can see it's putting all the bulk spools into the actual bulk spool cases right there, and they slide down through here. We got an error code or something. Americans messing stuff up, but you can see that actually with a suction cup picks the spools up, sets it on that, then flips it off. Just gotta wait till it's ready. See, it flips it off. And then y'all have already seen what happens over here, but almost mesmerizing to sit here and watch this. So that's also something that's pretty cool, is they actually put the stickers on by hand, which, I mean, I guess it makes sense, but you just kind of didn't think about it, and then put it in the actual boxes. All right, so as you can see right there, the line's actually being spooled on this, and it's, everybody hears about the Sunline plasmarized coating. That's that patented technology. It goes on a lot of lines, cleans lines. This is where it all happens, and this is the process. So I'm gonna show y'all what this does. So you can see it comes out of that machine, and I guess that's where the coating is put on, then it's wound through that, and then wound on this. But like FC Sniper, this happens 3 different times, and every single time it goes through this, it gets smoother and smoother and smoother. So if you go to the other side of the machine, you can actually feel the line, and it's like wavy, and you can feel that it's not as smooth. And when it comes out this side, it's already like super, super smooth. And then it does it 2 more times. That's why the FC Sniper is so easy to fish with. All right, so this is, to me, one of the coolest things that I got to see over here. This is called a tensile testing machine. This is actually how every single spool line that comes out, they run it through this machine and then test the breaking strength, and they also use a micrometer to test the diameters on it at various distances to make sure that it's within the specs that they want. But it's also used for testing knot strength. So we've been able to do that a couple times over the past couple days, and it's been really enlightening for me. We tested an FG knot on this, also tested my knot that I tied, double pits, and a few other knots. Yesterday we had a knot tournament, and my knot won. Today we had a knot tournament, and I did not win, but I burned the line, so that was my fault. But we also tested an FG knot, which is the other knot that I tie, and it consistently got within like 1% of the actual breaking strength of the fluorocarbon. And in one case, the FG broke at a higher poundage than the actual line broke. So I don't even know how that's possible, but it happened. But that's one of the coolest things that I came over here to see, and it's been awesome. And there's a lot of really, really good knots. When you tie one correctly, they're really, really similar and really, really close. And I've always wondered, how do so many bass fishermen tie different knots? And seeing it on the machine and seeing how there's 4 or 5 knots that are really close to each other, I kind of understand why it's a matter of opinion, you know, and it's whatever you want. But it's been a cool machine to play with. All right, guys, so obviously we are back from Japan now. Did not film an outro while I was over there, but had a ton of fun over there meeting the guys from Sunline, going through the factory. You know, I'm super interested in fishing line. I always have been. I've always tried to refine the knots and the lines that I use for every single technique, and it was a huge learning experience. There's a lot of super top secret stuff that we could not talk about and could not film, but we learned a lot about that showed how important using the right line for the right situation kind of is. But I'm gonna add a couple of my fish catches in, because I did get to catch me a couple of Japanese bass, and I probably, hole jump Payne Grack is probably gonna be the most memorable hole jump that he's probably gonna remember, because he was fishing off by himself and I saw him through the woods, and I walked over there with him. Then I caught a couple fish, and he never got one, unfortunately. But it was fun, a really, really fun trip. The main thing I wanted to do was test the knots on that knot testing machine, and then do that abrasion test with fluorocarbon versus mono. And whenever I brought that up to the guys over there, they're like, you want to test mono versus fluorocarbon. Obviously fluorocarbon is more abrasion resistant. And I'm like, well, there's like this narrative going on online that it's not. And they just looked at me like I was crazy. Then obviously the fluorocarbon did win. But the thing about it is monofilament absorbs water whenever it's underwater. So if you do the test underwater, monofilament is a lot less abrasion resistant than fluorocarbon. So that was my main takeaway, was that the other tests you've seen are not correct, because I really tested it a bunch of times, and I really care about the results, because that's going to change what I use. Like if monofilament was more abrasion resistant, I would start using monofilament for a lot more stuff, but it's just not. But anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed that video. It was really cool touring the factory. Hopefully y'all learned some stuff. I know I learned a lot of stuff, and see y'all in the next video.
And Kyle got to go on my dream trip.
Yeah, to Japan. That's crazy, but we'll take you on another one. All right, so over here with Sunline America, got me my first Japanese bass. The hot pink line right there above the hook, that's what really makes them trigger. That's the deal right there. But got me another one. It almost seems like they're kind of almost overpopulated. We can't catch one.